Good day, everyone. This is your subject Social Studies and your teacher here, Miss Michelle Joy. Just a reminder that this video is just a recap makeup class, especially for the students who were not able to join our virtual class today. Before we proceed with our online discussion, let's have a short recap or review of the last topics that we have last Friday. The first one is countries need law. Importance of law. People living in an organized society have to follow certain common rules, and the state has to enforce these rules. Law is the sum of these rules which regulate the life of people. Otherwise, peaceful living is impossible. Laws for Thai youths. Rights for young people. Non-discrimination. The state has to protect the youths to any form of discrimination. The right to development. Every youth has the right to live, to survive, and development. The right of education. Every youth has the right to get education. The consideration of the opinion of the youth. Youths have the right to say in all businesses which concern to them, their own opinion, and these have to be considerate according to the age and maturity of the teenager or child. Class, these are the objectives of our lesson for this week. The first one is students must be able to know the labor laws in Thailand. And the second one is students must be able to know who could be affected by laws. So these are the two topics we are going to study, and please stay as we go through our discussion. Names of the students who did not do PA1 and PA2 yet. So please, if you see your names here, please do your PA1 and PA2 as soon as you can. Thank you. These are names of students who did not do PA1 and PA2 yet. So if you see your name here, please do your PA1 and PA2 as soon as possible. Thank you. Class, our topics for this week are the following: labor laws in Thailand and who else could be affected by laws. These are the words that we are going to be studying for this week, and we are going to explain this word one by one. But first, let us read so that you can still practice your reading skills and your speaking skills even if you're just at home. Are you ready now? Let's start reading. Number 1, labor law. Number 2, maternity leave. Number 3, illegal. Number 4, leash law. Number 5, registration tax. Now let's discuss these words one by one. Labor law is a contract of employment, and it shall be formed when a person, the employee, agrees directly or indirectly to perform work for and under the authority of another, the employer, for a definite or indefinite period of piece work in return for wages, salary, or remuneration. So class, this happen usually between the employers and employee. They have to agree to something, and then they have to sign the contract, and they must follow that contract or else they will be punished by the law. Now the second word, maternity leave. This refers to a period of not less than 60 consecutive days whereby a female worker abstained from work in the issuance of a child or children, resulting after that at least 28 weeks of pregnancy. So class, if you got pregnant, you are allowed to not go to work and be paid. And after getting birth, you are allowed to take leave for taking care of your newborn baby. It can be paid, it can be unpaid. It depends on the country where you are, because not all laws are the same for each country. Next, the third word, illegal. Illegal means against the law, unlawful, not allowed by law, illegitimate, non-legal, illegally in an illegal manner, under the counter, against the law. In short, prohibited, not allowed, not permitted. Next, the number 4 word is leash law. Leash laws is strictly enforced or must be followed whatever happens. All animals must be under restraint. Next, the last word, registration tag. So this is what a registration tag looks like. It is like an ID card for your pets. So these are the 5 words that we will be encountering all throughout our discussion. Let's repeat again. Labor law, maternity leave, illegal, leash law, registration tags.
Parental leave. All full-time, part-time and casual employees who have worked for their employer for at least 12 months can take unpaid leave when they have a baby or adopt a child.
There are rules around who is eligible and how leave can be taken. But basically, mums and dads can take up to 12 months leave to care for their child, with an option to agree with their employer to take up to another 12 months.
Parental leave can be split between both parents as long as the total amount of leave taken isn't more than 24 months.
An employee needs to give their employer at least 10 weeks' notice of their intention to take parental leave and provide evidence if it is required.
There are circumstances where it may not be safe for employees to continue working in their current job while pregnant. If a doctor tells an employee that they are not fit to attend work, an employee can take special maternity leave. This leave does not reduce the amount of parental leave that an employee can take. Special maternity leave is unpaid, but an employee can take paid sick leave if they have any.
If a doctor tells an employee that they are fit for work, but it's not a good idea to keep working in their job because of risks or hazards, they are entitled to transfer to a safe job. If there is no safe job they can transfer to, they can take paid no safe job leave. This leave is paid and does not reduce the overall entitlement to parental leave.
If an employee wants to keep working in the 6 weeks before they're due to give birth, an employer can ask for a doctor's certificate to show that they are fit for work and that it is okay for them to keep working.
If an employee doesn't provide a certificate or their doctor says they shouldn't keep working, an employer can require an employee to start their unpaid parental leave early.
There are other rules about how and when you can take leave, extending and reducing your leave, keeping in touch days, and consulting while on leave.
There are even some entitlements that apply to employees who have less than 12 months service.
Class, it's time to open your books on page 28 and let us read labor laws in Thailand. Everything that you see in your monitor, please highlight it in your book because it means they are the important ones and they might appear in your midterm assessment. Maternity leave in Thailand is up to 90 days, but only 45 days are being paid. Under 15 is illegal to work in Thailand. A person must be at least 18 to work legally. Before that, the employer would need to follow certain procedures according to the law. Being under 18, a person doesn't have much work to do, and he would put himself in danger with the authorities. Under 18, he can't work overtime too. That also breaks the law. Next, let's continue, class. It's time for you to open your books on page 30 and let us discuss the last topic for this week, which is who else could be affected by laws. Everything that you see here, please highlight on your book because it might appear on your midterm assessment. Laws affect everyone, even family pets. If you're a pet owner, you must find out the local laws are for cats, dogs, or other animals that you have. Some places have a leash law, which means you must walk your dog on a leash. It's also important to know whether registration tags are needed, what shots are required, or whether you can keep a wild animal in your house or not. So class, this is an example of a leash, okay? It is actually a rope tied in your dog's neck, connected to the other side of the rope or the tip of the rope with your hands. Now this is the registration tag or the ID card for dogs.
接到报警后，我们立即赶到现场了解情况。在了解情况的过程中，又发现了这个就是有群众的这狗出现了，然后我队立即从车上取下了一个应急棍，紧随其后，并边提醒路人有疯狗，就要喊他们避开。
查了看下，这是我个人最先挣了，给这个，给那个。还有啊，我说你脚上不是这个。突发情况，突发，都头儿到底是。
如果说我们百姓在日常生活工作当中被这个犬，不管它是疯犬哈咬伤过后，我们要立即用清水或者肥皂水对伤口进行一个冲洗。第二，到专门的防疫机构或者卫生机构，我们进行伤口的处理消毒。第三，到卫生防疫机构进行狂犬疫苗接种或抗狂犬病血清的注射，来预防狂犬病的发生。对吗？
真不懂了嘛？
So, you're enjoying your morning run in the park before work, and then suddenly a stray dog runs up to you, looking like it's ready to attack you. Well, what should you do in a situation like this? Should you run? Should you fight? Should you give him a dog biscuit? That might be a good idea. Give him something else to munch on. Here are the most helpful recommendations of experts on how to keep yourself safe from dogs or what to do if you're attacked. Who is at risk? Most of the time, joggers, cyclers, and other fast-moving people get attacked. The thing is, dogs react to movement and it triggers a chase instinct. Plus, they may consider some area theirs, and if you trespass in their property, they might try to protect it. So, what to do if you see that a dog is ready to attack you? Part 1. Avoiding the attack. Don't panic. Many people believe that dogs and some other animals can kind of sense human fear. Well, it's not that they really sense the fear, it's just that they become more confident when they see that their prey is intimidated. So, no matter how hard it is, try to stay calm. If the dog sees that it can't scare you, it might think you're a dangerous person to mess with. Don't dispel its illusions. Don't try to run. First things first, dogs are faster, well, at least most of them. Accept this fact and relax. There's no chance you can run away. It's not even worth trying. Secondly, running will provoke the dog's instinct to chase. So you might create a problem yourself, even if the dog didn't mean any harm in the first place. Stand still. If you were running, slow down to a walk and then stop completely. Most likely, the dog saw you as a threat when you were moving fast. The threat must be eliminated either by you or by the dog. We prefer the former. So, if you stop moving, chances are the dog will lose interest in you and walk away. Also, it's better to stand sideways to the dog. This way you will appear slimmer to it, which means you are less of a threat. Don't make eye contact. Direct eye contact may make the dog more aggressive. It may be a reason for an attack. Your best course of action is to keep the dog in sight but avoid direct eye contact. This will signal to the dog that you are not dangerous and it can let you go unharmed. Make fists. No, not for fighting. Fists are necessary to protect your fingers from getting bitten off. Even if the dog bites your fist, it is much easier to break free from that. Distract the dog with another object. If you have something in your hand, throw it in another direction. It can be a bottle of water, your bag, or anything else. If you have nothing you are ready to throw away, pretend that you are picking something up from the ground and throw it far away. After all, dogs are very playful animals. Maybe this one wasn't attacking you, but trying to attract your attention. All kidding aside, distracting the dog might give you the necessary time to escape. Command the dog to back away. If the dog doesn't want things to go nicely, you have no choice but to be rough too. Tell it in a firm voice, "No," or "back away." Make sure you sound confident and strong. If you sound like a 5-year-old child, which is forgivable in this situation, the dog will sense it, and you will be in even bigger danger. But what if you couldn't avoid the attack? What should you do to get as little damage as possible? Part 2. Defending yourself. Fight back. If the dog starts biting you even after you have demonstrated all your negotiation skills, you'll have to do all it takes to protect yourself. Try to hit the dog in the nose, in the throat, or the back of the head. A good smack might give you the time to escape. Yell for help. Dogs can kill, you must realize that, so it's perfectly okay to ask for help. Maybe somebody will hear you and help you get rid of the dog. Protect your face and neck. Whatever it takes, don't let the dog get to your vital parts, your neck or your face. If you do, you won't be able to protect yourself anymore. Try to put something between you and the dog, like that mailman over there. Anyways, use your weight to press the dog against the ground. Its only weapon is its mouth full of teeth. Try to avoid that end. If you manage to keep safe from that, you will win the fight. Your goal is to immobilize the head. You can do that by pressing the dog's neck. Okay, let's say that you show the dog who is boss. It gets scared and runs away. What should you do after? Part 3. After the attack. See a doctor. Even the smallest wound may be an open door for an infection. Use water to wash the wound and a bandage to stop the bleeding. See a doctor even if you don't think you should. The dog might be rabid, so a series of shots might be necessary. Report the dog. Call the authorities and inform them about the accident. Describe everything you can remember. This information might save someone else's life. Tell us about your experience with dog attacks in the comments section below and share this video with your friends to help keep them safe. Don't forget to click subscribe to join us on the bright side of life.
Class, for your activity, please answer pages 29 to 31 of your social studies book. Take a picture of your social studies book, page 29 to 31, and upload it in the social studies album I created in your class's line group. Good luck. Thank you so much. Time for us to say goodbye, class. I hope you understand our lesson for today. And if you have any question, you can send me a message in our Google Classroom account or in my personal line account. Until then, see you soon. Stay safe, everyone.